Hello, my name is Aisling and I am one of the physios currently working in the Sandyford Beacon Clinic with Spectrum Health. Today I'm going to talk a bit about running injury and some common errors that lead to running injury, and this is going to be part of a 5-part series where I'll be doing some blogs and videos on running injuries. So what are common causes of running injuries? Well, one of the main causes actually is training error. And what do we mean by training error? So training error basically is that you either do too much or too little and then it leads to injury. Now, a common example of this in running is where someone will be running maybe say 5 kilometers a few times a week, and then they suddenly increase their training to maybe doing lots of hill work or a lot more distance, or increase their speed by quite a lot without pacing and gradually building it up. Now this leads to overload on the tissues, and a lot of the time this can come with pain. Another common training error could be that you have a break from training, so say over Christmas happens quite a lot, or with a period of illness, and you go back to doing the exact same thing that you were doing pre-break. So this can lead to kind of, again, overload on the tissues where you've had a break and then you go back to doing the exact same thing without gradually building it back up. Another cause of some common kind of running injuries can be strength and conditioning, so lack of strength and conditioning. So this can be that you do a lot of running, a lot of cardiovascular activity, but actually don't have any strength and conditioning to facilitate or as an adjunct to that. So what that can lead to then is, again, some overload on the tissues. So when we run, a lot of force goes through our tissues, and if we don't have the backup strength to facilitate that, then a lot of the time that can lead again to tissue overload and lead to some running injury. Now, how do we prevent all of this from happening? So key things to remember are: build up your training gradually, add some strengthening in alongside the training. It doesn't have to be a lot, 3 times a week, 20-30 minutes, that's it. And just make sure that you are getting some strengthening in. And the other thing then to look at is make sure that if you do get pain with running, that your pain settles within 24 hours of the run, and make sure that it doesn't last for longer than that, and ideally you want it to settle as soon as possible. Okay, so that's all we'll be talking about today, and look out for our next blog on common training myths or common running myths. Okay, until next time.